Hello everyone, this is Brian Bentley at CoinOpTV bringing a gameplay and commentary for F1 2015 on the PlayStation 4. The Formula 1 games are, it's a racing sports simulation game, so it's just like your Maddens or your FIFA. It's a yearly installment that comes out by Codemasters Racing. You can check out, I have some videos up from 2014. This is the first time that Formula 1 games have moved to the next generation, or in this case, the current generation. Right? So, what I really like, just from the start, is that they've redone the engine. The game engine has been completely redone for this year. And just like with prior installments, physics is king. So they really worry about, downforce, tire wear, brake temperatures. They really are very focused in, the down and dirty. The details is really what it's all about. Now you'll notice I actually got my first pole. So this is race 3 of the season here in China. And I got a pole position, so I was pretty happy about that, and we're about to get started in this race. So I'm going to kind of do a lap and a half, and then it's going to fast forward a little bit, and then we're going to get to where I do the pit, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. But you will see there will be a point where things will speed up, so keep an eye out for that if you're wondering why all of a sudden I'm driving much, much faster than you think I'm driving. Now, I do admit that I still have a lot of the assists on. Especially like into these turns and stuff, I always need a little help, and I have been trying to slowly wean myself off the assist, but I'm still on easy, so I still have all the assists on. I don't know what to say about that. I just racing is not my best game. Obviously, I'm much better at other genres, but I do enjoy racing games, so I'm just not very good at them. But this game is a simulation through and through. And one of the things that I really like is, since this game has come out a little earlier than previous installments, so they can get this game out onto the PS4, Xbox One, they have included both the 2015 season, which is the current season, and the 2014. So you can go back to last year's season and sort of experience that if you had been playing 2014 and you kind of wanted to jump into it, you have that opportunity. You can go back and kind of relive the season if you wish. Now there are a few different types of modes. I'm playing, of course, in championship mode because that's the most exciting to me, where you play as a driver, and I'm playing as Lewis Hamilton, and on the Mercedes Petronas team. Here we go. I'm speeding things up just a little bit here, because I want to get the whole race in, kind of give you an idea of what it was like to be a part of the whole race, but without the sitting through a 28-minute race, because that could get boring. Now, there are 3 different types. I'll go back into the different modes in a second. Here in championship mode, there are 3 different, I want to call them time lapses. So I'm doing the fastest time. So fastest, you get 15 minutes on a practice day. So here's where Nico Rosberg, my teammate, passes me. I was like, "Urgh!" But in all seriousness, there's practice weekend or practice day. You get 15 minutes. It's a 1-lap qualifier on day 2. And then it's a 14 to 15 minute, or they call it a quarter of the amount of laps that you have to do. So sometimes that's 14 laps, or sometimes it's 15 laps, depending upon, I've cut off Vettel to take back second place, here at the end of lap 4. Now I'm staying in second place all the way to the pit. So we'll get to that in just a minute. Then there's medium mode, which has a 3-lap qualifier, 30-minute practice, and then half the amount of laps. And then, of course, the full, which gives you the full hour of driving for practice, a full qualifier, as well as the full number of laps that would be done in an actual F1 race. I, of course, picked... I wish there was a way to balance them, because I would have liked a little bit more time in practice, but still have the one-lap qualifier and the very, very short race time. Just because, I mean, seriously, 1/4 of the race, and it's 28 minutes for me. That is insane. Anyway... now, you know, if you want to... like I said, I wish I could, you know, split them up a little bit, but you know, that's fine. Going back to... you know, in the practice mode, so each race weekend is broken into 3 days. Friday, which is, I love that I got some cone stuck on me. Okay, we're back. So during this lap, I'm going to pit. Now, mind you, that Nico Rosberg is my teammate, and he is, you know, directly in front of me. We'll get to that in just a second. Anyway, I was hoping that, you know, that I could change, you know, some of the thing. Oh yeah, right. I'm talking about the race weekend. So there's practice on Fridays, your qualifiers on Saturday, and then the race day is Sunday. And I do wish I had that ability to modify, you know, different lanes for practice as well as, you know, qualifying and race day. So one of the cool things in qualifying or in practice mode is when you're in the pit and you know, you can go through and you can tweak your car and whatever you need to do, but you can actually watch live cams of the other drivers as they're on the track. And I thought that was a really cool addition to the game. And I don't remember it being there last year, but I do remember it being very cool. I really, really liked that. So different modes. Of course, I'm in championship mode. I said that previously. And am I getting close yet? No. Then there's pro season, right? And that just takes off all the training wheels. You get no assists. This is hardcore of the hardcore for pro season. So obviously, I did not dabble in that at all. But I definitely... Oh, here I'm going to pit. So, like I said, I did dabble in pro season. So I don't really know much about it because, well, let's face it, I'm a terrible driver and I can barely play on easy. Now, Nico Rosberg is my teammate. I didn't even think about this. I pull into the pit and I'm like, oh yeah, here I'm gonna go. Guess what, folks? He gets to pit first because he's in front of me. So I lost like 4 or 5 seconds in this race just because I am silly and didn't realize that my teammate... So I should have I should have lapped once, kept first place, lapped, gotten back, and then the next lap, boom, pulled in the pit. I would have had the whole place to myself, and I would have cut off at least, I'm going to say 10 seconds. I mean, a full 10 seconds I could have, you know, I ended up, well, I'm not going to, I don't want to spoil things, but I ended up in a decent place. I could have kept my second place finish, you know, even maybe have, you know, tried to angle myself in for first, but that did not happen. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to, you know, so you know I didn't get second place and I didn't get first place, but I did get third place. So, spoiler alert, I got third place. There's also an online multiplayer and a time trial mode, which I haven't really dabbled a whole lot in, but they seem interesting. If you know, this is your kind of your bag, then you'll probably be in those modes a little more. Like I said, physics is king. It's all about your tires. It's about listening to your pit. It's about knowing, you know, the gaming etiquette. Like, there is an actual race etiquette to Formula One. You know, there's no bumping. There's no, you know, touching each other. There's no, or you know, I get warnings for not staying on the track because, well, I can barely drive. By the way, if you haven't figured out, we're back in fast forward mode. I'm trying to get past Bottas here to get into third place. Ooh, there we go. I can't. Now I admit, it might have been a little against regulations. I should probably let him pass me, but I just don't allow it because I'm a jerk. And I want to win, or at least you know, come close to the finish. Come close at the finish. Now, graphically, all right. So, if you actually look at when they have like the faces at the beginning of the video, you'll notice the faces, not so great. But that's okay, because you know you don't really look at the faces very much. The heads are in helmets most of the time, and you don't really worry about that. All right. Really, graphically, it's all about the cars. It's about, you know, the cars directly in the front, you'll notice like there's quite a bit of detail on the actual steering column and the wheel. My wheels, the front of my car, these are very, very, tight. Oh, I got a warning there for bumping into Räikkönen. So I kind of do fall back a little bit just because I don't want to hit him and get a penalty, which is a major bummer. They really hurt you at the end with a 5-second penalty as a killer. I've already had a problem with the pit. I didn't want to mess this up. But really, it's really all about the cars. It's about, looking at the tires when if you end up on the grass, you'll notice, especially if your tires are warm, you'll pick up those grass pieces, and until you burn them off on the track, you see them, you see the details there. That's where it's important graphically. Even the crowds and stuff, you don't even really notice them, so you don't worry about that. And then it's all about being able to view, you're going, between, there are times, look at me right now, I'm going 190, almost 200 miles an hour. It's about that feeling of speed, and that is definitely in the game. I will say that of all the bits, the broadcast presentation, huge improvement from last year. They really went out of their way to make it as dynamic as they possibly could. Now, unfortunately, this does not necessarily apply to the AI bots. Now, mind you, I'm playing in easy, but, on easy mode... Okay, so what I did is I jumped into a quick race, and I picked a guy who's not really at the front of the pack, and I just, I drove and got out of the way, and I made sure that they were all like half a lap ahead of me, and then I drove to the finish. And then I did it again. So I did it twice. And in both cases, the top 10 people were all the same people. And each of their times were within 1 to 2/10 of a second. So essentially, especially on easy mode, the bots are like, okay, Nico Rosberg's going to drive Monaco. He's going to get 4 minutes, 4 seconds, point something something. And if you're not Lewis Hamilton, he'll most likely come in second. He'll come in second, and he'll be back by 2/10 of a second. And then, then Vettel, then Räikkönen, then so-and-so. And you're like, yeah, this is not fun. Like, oh, I got another warning. Look out. Anyway, we're getting to the end of the race. We're here in lap 14. We're about to wrap things up. And I will say, just as a quick wrap-up, the PS4 controller, so much better than... Oh, we're back in real time as I'm about to finish up the race. The PS4 controller is such an improvement over the PS3 controller, and I don't just mean in the way the buttons. I mean, the L1 and R2 and L2, which are your brake and acceleration, respectively, they have like these lips on them, and it's easy to rest your fingers there. It feels great. If you like the video, go ahead and click the like below, and it's right underneath the views, and make sure you subscribe to the CoinOpTV YouTube channel, because that's the best way to stay in touch and get all the awesome news and videos that you can. Alright everyone, thanks. We'll see you next time.